Welcome to Keep It Local, a program produced by the Greater Beverly Chamber of Commerce and BevCam TV. I'm your co-host, John King, a chamber member and owner of Headway Strategies, helping individuals and organizations make headway toward their goals more consistently.
And I'm Leslie Gould, Executive Director of the Greater Beverly Chamber of Commerce, serving Beverly, Danvers, and surrounding communities.
On this edition of Keep It Local, we'll be learning about exciting happenings from the Beverly YMCA Executive Director, Tim Flaherty.
Matt Schroeder of Great Wealth Advisors will give us some last-minute tips regarding your financial investments as we close out the year.
As we get ready to make our New Year's fitness resolutions, we'll hear from Beverly Athletic Club's Darren Burke, Director of Wellness and Fitness, on how they can help you plan for 2023.
We check in with Dylan Lukitsch, the new Economic Development Planner for the City of Beverly, and discuss his ideas and vision.
Whether you're giving others or to yourself a gift of jewelry, it's a big business, and we'll talk with Maureen, who locally represents Opalenza Designs.
But first, let's hear from a word from our sponsor, Sean Anderson from Big A's Home Improvement.
Hi, my name is Sean Anderson with Big A's Home Improvement. We are a proud sponsor of the Greater Beverly Chamber of Commerce Keep It Local show. We specialize in all sorts of residential, bathrooms, kitchens, additions, second levels, finished basements. You can reach me at 857-891-2589. Once again, that's 857-891-2589. Or you can email me at Sean, SEAN_BIG_A @yahoo.com. Feel free to reach out anytime. Thank you very much.
Well, we're speaking with Tim Flaherty, who is the Executive Director of the YMCA, the Sterling YMCA here in Beverly. And this is awesome because he was at the Cape Ann YMCA, as many people know, obviously a former city councilor here in Beverly. So he's known to the community from a different perspective, but now he's steeped in the Y. He loves the Y, loves those roots. I love it. All right, now that I've done all the talking, Tim, talk to us about, you've come from the Cape Ann YMCA, a different community. You helped build that YMCA up there, which is gorgeous and brand new, and that's always a challenge. Talk to us about why the jump, why the move, and what's the difference in the communities, and then we'll talk about a deep dive into the Sterling Y.
Absolutely. I spent 10 years up at the Cape Ann Y, going from a small downtown Y and building that beautiful facility up there with a lot of people's help. But it was pretty exciting because that community is so grateful to have a brand new Y, $30 million Y, a lot of great things that are happening up there because of the Y. So one of the reasons why would I leave that after just building it? I think the idea of the Y, myself thought, I'd like to come back home. Beverly, I grew up in Beverly, was raised in Beverly, so the idea of utilizing my connections in the community, and the Y is all about the community. So the idea of kind of using the Y as a leader in the community, as a nonprofit in the community, and saying, listen, we want to make a difference in this community and meet the needs of the Beverly, especially coming out of COVID and trying to kind of get the Y involved in the community, and then vice versa. I mean, the Y, we're involved in so many things, like with the mayor, the summer reading program, the after-school program at the schools. So we're not just at the Sterling Center, we're the Greater Beverly Y, which has Hamilton, Wenham, Manchester, and Beverly included. So we do a lot of things, programs to help out the community.
Well, it's important to note, I actually live in Gloucester, went to that Y, have been a Y person, my children and I, we've talked about this before, and now I'm bringing my daughter down to the gymnastics program, which is obviously very well noted in the region, to the Sterling Y. It seems very, very busy. We're coming out of COVID, obviously. Pandemic is obviously such a serious situation for all of your members and for the community.
Right.
So how have you risen? How are things post-COVID? How have things literally changed since then? What would you like to draw to our attention?
Well, we've developed slowly out of COVID. We were actually open in some areas, like with emergency childcare for COVID. And the good thing about being a part of the North Shore Y, where you go from Marblehead to Haverhill, obviously Cape Ann, Beverly, and Ipswich, be a part of something that's greater than just the Greater Beverly Y. And so doing a lot of these programs and helping with memberships. So we do like gym, swim, gymnastics like you talked about, but there's a lot of things coming out of COVID that people don't realize that we do. Like we're involved in affordable housing, 172 units approximately involved in this community. We run a program called Cornerstone that helps people with cancer survivors, people who have cancer and their families, offering them free memberships and programs. And that's kind of, people don't realize we do that, but when we go out and try to raise money and let people know what we do, this year alone, which you've seen the difference from COVID, is we're going to give almost $1 million away in this community. And we probably raise, unfortunately, we like to raise more, we probably raise around 300 to help out people, in the community. In fact, we also just had a family from the Ukraine come to us. They left the Ukraine with their family and their kids, and we just gave them a membership to the YMCA so they can come to the Y, maybe find a job, and have that kind of normalcy. And the smiles on these parents' faces was amazing.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
Do you find that you're also doing more for seniors, the baby boomers? Now you're sort of running more programs in that direction?
Yes, I mean, I think the North Shore in general is more baby boomers and senior citizens. There's many kids out there as there used to be. So just by the idea of the makeup of our community, we are offering more programs, whether it be like for cancer surviving or whether it be aquatics programs. Our big program now is pickleball. We have 9 brand new pickleball courts at the Y that people are loving.
I love that.
Yeah.
We only have just a few seconds left, but
That's fine.
very quickly, a couple of things. What would be your vision for the Y? Do you have any ideas that Tim wants to get moving on?
Right. Well, I've been in Beverly for about a year, and the idea is meeting the needs of the community. The Y is more than just at the Sterling Center or at the preschool. It's Y to be successful. It needs to be involved in the community, and we are. Like I said, the after-school program, all these great things. We have 600 kids involved in that. So, as long as the Y is involved in the community, and the community is involved in the Y, we're a success.
You're a success right there. It's wonderful. Thank you so much for
Thank
joining
you.
us today.
Absolutely.
We really appreciate you coming
Absolutely.
in.
Thank you.
Well, we're back. I'm here with Matt Schroeder. Matt is an advisor with Great Point Wealth Advisors.
Correct.
And more importantly, though, he was a former chamber president back in almost a decade ago, I guess, almost close.
Give us sometime in the teens. We'll say there.
So what I wanted to do, Matt, is I wanted to talk a little bit about what people need to worry about before the end of the year. December 31st comes along, and then any financial transactions that you're trying to do get pushed into the next year.
Correct.
And we want to try to avoid that. And so let's talk a little bit about what some of the things a person should do to look at their financial situation before the end of the year.
Yeah, year-end planning is tricky. It depends on where you are in your financial life. So if you're in retirement, you might have to be thinking about things like required distributions out of an IRA if you're over 72, which if you don't do those before December 31st can have some significant penalties. So if you have an IRA, make sure you're asking the question if you've taken your distribution.
So who do I ask that question of?
If you have your account at Fidelity or Ameriprise or Schwab, you just call your broker-dealer.
Okay.
And usually it says somewhere in your statement that year-to-date distributions, and it usually tells you how much you have to take out and how much you have taken out. So start with your statement. If you can't figure it out, then you call your broker-dealer
Okay.
or wherever the custodian of your monies are.
What are some of the other things we need to worry about?
Well, if you're in the saving mode, December 31st, you might decide to put a little more money into your IRA or 401k or Roth IRA. With IRAs and Roth IRAs, technically you have until April 15th or a little bit later, but if you have some room within your company, you might be able to talk to your payroll and say, hey, I want to save a little bit extra money before the end of the year, take an extra $500 out of my paycheck, the last paycheck of the year, because payroll deductions have to be done before December 31st or they count for the next year.
But you could do a deposit from your savings account.
No, you cannot. Not
cannot.
to your 401k. You can't
right.
take money out of your checking account and give it to your employer. But if you have just a regular IRA or a small business plan, for the most part, you have until April 15th. So those aren't critical that you do them before December 31st. But
Right.
this is if you have an employer and you're in a 401k plan. You can usually go online and just increase your withholdings for the last paycheck or two to get a few extra dollars in there.
Okay. And then stocks that you own, looking at what you've got losses, and this year.
Yeah, unfortunately, a lot of people this year have
interesting-
losses. So
Right.
if you have, when you're thinking about a lot of year-end stuff is tax related.
Yep.
So you may want to call your accountant and see if you should take maybe a loss on some of your mutual funds or stocks. So if you sell them before the end of the year, you might be able to take a tax loss. Another thing with year-end, which is calendar-driven, is charitable donations. So
Right.
if you are charitably inclined and you haven't made that gift yet, either to a nonprofit like the Greater Beverly Chamber of Commerce or the YMCA, you can make those donations either online before December 31st to get the tax benefits.
And I know Fidelity, in fact, I participate in it. They have a charitable distribution program where I can put money in each year, and then I can determine when I want to release it.
I'm assuming you're probably talking about donor-advised funds. So those do exist. Most brokers, most custodians do offer them. So yes, and if you're over 72, when we're talking about required distributions, if there are ways to give your distribution directly to charity to avoid some tax benefits. So
Okay. So we've talked about distributions for 401ks and obviously older people in my range of age. But what do you do about the millennials who are just trying to figure out what life is about in terms of how they should invest?
Yeah, when it comes to financial planning for them, it's not so much year by year, it's the next 30 years.
Right.
So financial planning is about making good decisions consecutively over year. So I would be thinking about December, not so much about what I have to do for year end, but how do I kickstart 2023 in the right direction? So, maybe doing a little bit of analysis of what you've done so far and maybe set a goal for 2023 of how much you want to save. So if you're currently saving 3% of your paycheck, can you increase that to 4%? Or if you haven't started saving at all, just pick a dollar amount and say, hey, what if I can save $500 or $1,000 more in 2023? That's going to help me along the way.
All right. Well, we're just about out of time, but I really thank you for coming in today and sharing this information with us and,
Yeah.
and the listening audience out there.
Yeah, and we do have a podcast called Great Points. You can find it on Apple Music or Spotify that covers a lot of these informational tips on basics around financial planning. So
Very good.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thanks, John. Appreciate it.
At this time, we're welcoming into the studio Dylan Lukitsch, who is the new economic development planner for the city of Beverly. He comes from Georgia, so he's like a transplant.
absolutely.
And we are thrilled to have you. I love your background of 10 years experience, correct? And it seems as though what you sent over to us, you have a real broad way of looking at economic development, which is something that I really love, and I'd love to explain to the public who's watching.
Yeah, absolutely. So historically, economic development has usually been focused on business development and expanding tax bases. Unfortunately, when you kind of pigeonhole yourself in that, you kind of fail to take out to the account just workforce development, what culture takes into place, arts, and the various other kind of minutia of what it means for a local economy. So I'm not saying neither one, just focusing on business development is just, good or bad, but there is other elements to try and just making a town and a community very, inclusive and just beneficial for everybody.
Is that a new way of thinking about economic development? Is it your way of thinking? It seems to me that there's a lot more conversation about, walkable space, green space, livable space, and kind of how everything merges together.
I think it's kind of a new wave of economic development that's coming along. We realize that there needs to be more additional elements to be focusing on. And I think the pandemic showed a lot of that, but on top of it too, we are also seeing the need for a very strong downtown core for a community too. So there's a big shift, but yeah, it is a kind of new way of kind of like approaching it in just a more inclusive way.
Are you finding that the public is embracing that new way of thinking?
Oh, absolutely. And Beverly's done an amazing job already. I mean, moving here to a community that already has a pretty well-established arts and culture district is just, it's just, you're miles ahead. And I mean, culture in itself can also be just an economic draw for, especially for younger and younger adults and young professionals. They find themselves wanting to be in an area that they can just be doing things.
So talk to us about Beverly. What do you see? What's your vision? I know you're working obviously with Darlene Wynn, who is the director of the whole department, but what's your vision? What are you seeing?
I'm still playing that, kind of that filter, but it's finding a way to sustain that momentum. Economic development and development in general can be a scary thing, especially for residents, because they can see, sometimes that can be viewed as just like, oh no, change, they're going to be pushing me out. Or, and I come from, I've seen communities, and I've worked in communities where economic development and just development in general has kind of disproportionately affected those, full-time residents. So it's finding ways to sustain, to kind of do it ethically and do it in a place where you find that balance between getting things done and making sure people who live there still want to live there.
So back in Georgia, what worked there that you think might actually work here?
Just at the end of the day, it's making people feel valued in with whom you're working with. I think that's the biggest thing, is that when you're speaking to the community, speaking to businesses, speaking to young adults that are trying to make a way in their life, it's making sure that they feel valued and what you're doing is something that's representative of what they would like to see.
Do you feel like you're a bit of a public official even though you're not elected?
Oh, I think there's you play kind of like that voice for the community, so you kind of have to watch what you say.
So what are people talking to you about?
Right now, it's very, very exciting because by and large, the pandemic, there was a lot of effect on the business community. But right now, I'm here having conversations with people that want to see expansion. They want to grow. They want to go. It's no longer what do we need to do to survive. It's what can we do to grow and do more for the, my business.
So you're talking about growing their business. So, but those are connect the dots kinds of conversations.
Absolutely.
Would you agree?
Oh, yeah.
So what are some of the dots that you think need to be connected? I realize that nothing's set in stone in this conversation.
Right. I think right now it's connecting that workforce development and, just business development aspect. It's also another big thing is working to kind of change the culture of what it means to be a business owner. We right now and historically we kind of think, oh, you're a business owner, you're looking for profits, you're looking for, to make money for myself. When in all actuality, to be an entrepreneur, it means to provide an answer to there's a problem in the community. I want ice cream, and there's no ice cream shops around. That entrepreneur comes around, they are a solution to the issue. They open up an ice cream shop. So it's changing that culture of what it means to be a business owner. So I think that's going to be one of the initial kind of aspects of what it means to be, a business owner in the North Shore and here in Beverly.
And then how it fits into the community.
Absolutely.
Perfect. Well, we are very grateful to have you. Thank you so much for coming on. And of course, we'll be having a lot of other conversations as we go along, but very happy to have you. Congratulations on being here.
Thank you.
And we're back. I'm here with Darren Burke, and Darren's with the Beverly Athletic Club, and here right in Beverly. And you've got a couple facilities. And why don't you just start off and give the audience a little bit of your background of how you got involved with Beverly Athletic Club?
Sure. My background: I have a master's degree in exercise science and nutrition, and I've worked in athletic clubs, private gyms, corporate fitness centers, commercial fitness centers. And it was actually my wife who brought me up to the North Shore because she is a Beverly resident herself, born and raised.
Sometimes that works that way. You probably didn't have much choice in the matter, but you've adapted well. So how is the Beverly Athletic Club? You've got two facilities.
Yep, we have two facilities, our main campus on Reservoir Road and at the Cumming Center. The Cumming Center location is a 24/7 gym.
Okay, and what facilities are in that? What capabilities is that?
So the smaller facility at the Cumming Center, like I said, is a 24/7 club where you can come in, you can personal train, there are classes there. The main campus has a much larger group fitness schedule, the Reservoir location, with also personal training and a spa and a Pilates studio, basketball court, and pickleball.
Okay, all right. So one of the things that the personal trainer aspect of it, if you go to the Cumming Center for 24 hours, not for 24 hours, but if for the 24-hour open, do you have a personal trainer there that works the whole shift?
There's a front desk staff to greet you there and personal trainers that are there for you, whether it's an evaluation that you're looking for. If you are a member of the Beverly Athletic Club, you have the option to travel to either location.
Okay.
And so for all of those businesses in the Cumming Center, it's a great location for them to be able to pop over either before work, during work on a lunch break, or even after work to have a personal training session or just to get a workout in.
Okay, and the personal trainers will do the evaluation, make suggestions, monitor you, and score you over time as to what your goals are?
That's exactly right, and it's it's a perfect time of year to visit us because all of our returning members and new members, and of course our current members, receive a complimentary wellness consultation when they join, where you sit down with a health coach and you kind of go over a full background of your fitness past and your experience in the clubs that you've been to before. You cover, medical history, injuries, you talk about your nutrition, stress management, sleep, kind of get the whole picture. And then from there, you move on to a personal trainer where you get your evaluation. Both of these services are complimentary.
Okay.
And once you get through both layers, you really have a full plan in place to understand the value that you have at the club and be able to have that clear path ahead for you to achieve your goals.
So how does that difference than going to a physical therapist?
Sure.
Where, you're providing some of the same things that
Sure.
the physical therapist does, but how does that
Sure.
does
So
that
the
work?
physical therapists, which we also have on-site, sole
Yeah.
physical therapy, deal with injuries, and they will bring you through your rehabilitation as far as they can. And when you're ready to leave their practice and continue your movement so that you stay healthy, that's where the personal trainers come into play. And the personal trainers and the physical therapists work hand in hand with the clients back and forth.
Okay, I got it. Okay, so 24 hours at Cummings Center, and the other location at the Reservoir site. How much is that open?
So Monday through Friday, 5 to 9, and on the
Okay.
weekends, 7 to 5.
7 to 5, and same kind of equipment.
Yep. The only major difference is the size. The main location has group fitness. We offer yoga, bar, Pilates, body pump, TRX, spinning. So a wide variety of classes on the bigger campus, but just on a smaller scale in the Cummings Center.
Okay, all right. And what new things do you have
Sure.
in place?
Yeah. Well, we're always adding new classes to the schedule. We have, of course, childcare on site as well. So any of our members can utilize childcare
Oh,
for up
okay.
to 2 hours a day. So if you want to come in, you want to get a workout, whether you have a class or a personal training session or your own workout, you have 2 hours to get in, do your workout, maybe take a little time in the lobby, utilize the Wi-Fi, gather your children, and you're on your way.
How young will you take the children?
2 and up.
2 and up. Okay, so not newborns.
No.
No.
COVID had a lot to do with that.
Okay, all right, very good. And you've gotten through COVID though with that. Any changes that you've had to adapt to with that?
Yeah, it's just a matter of, coming out as strong as we were when we, went into it. And I have to say the value of the club stays strong. Our core staff, our talented staff members are still there, and the members are coming back mostly for them.
Excellent. Well, we're just about out of time, and I want to thank you for coming in today and
Appreciate
being
it.
us at BevCam.
Thank you.
And wish you good for the next year here.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, well, this is going to be one awesome segment because we have with us Maureen O'Grady from Opalenza Designs. She is going to showcase a whole variety of jewelry that she represents this amazing company. We're going to showcase all of this jewelry to the viewers out there because jewelry is given not just during the holiday times, but throughout the year. Everyone gives jewelry to someone throughout the year and sometimes multiple times, which is awesome because people love bracelets. They love, the whole gamut. Some people are into this, that, whatever. So talk to us about Opalenza Designs. You're representing it. How long have you represented the company? And you love it. So why do you love it?
Well, thank you for having me. I'm honored to be here and share the jewelry. I have been in the sterling silver jewelry business for almost 18 years, and this particular company was started by 2 women friends of mine 5 years ago. I've been with them about 3 years because I was with another company before then. I love good quality sterling silver, and they've gone out of their way to make sure it's good quality.
I love it.
Yeah.
Now, you have something for everyone here. You have bracelets, earrings, you have long necklaces, short necklaces, rings, etc. What is Beverly style? What is the Beverly area style? Is it traditional or is it bohemian?
I run into everything. I think we have a lot of people who like classic jewelry, but then they see this and are like, oh, that's fun. That's different. I can try that. So I'd say it's a little more edgy and a little more bohemian, but we do have some very classic pieces. We have a gorgeous sterling silver bangle that I don't have here. So small representation of what I have, but I think it gives a good idea that we use authentic stones, turquoise, copper pearl, freshwater pearls, hematite, all different real stones, along with the sterling silver. And then we do have some that have, like this ring I'm wearing, has 12 karat gold. But most of our gold pieces that are two-toned are brass.
Okay, so
But
there's
that's
like
what makes it more affordable.
Sure. I mean, so you're wearing two-tone right now.
Yes, two-tone, brass and silver.
This is also two-tone here on the table, which is beautiful.
Yeah.
As well. So tell us now, you do all kinds of different parties, and you also outfit wedding parties as well. Can
Yeah,
you
I'd
talk
love to
us about
help
these?
accessorize women who are going to an event or a wedding. I've done bridal gifts for bridal parties. I've also just had someone who's starting a new job, and they're like, I have this suit, but I need to pop it with some jewelry. So I do a lot of that. I love helping a woman get a good new look without having to go out and buy a whole new outfit. So people bring their blouses sometimes or a dress over, and I help them accessorize. So it's really fun to get some people together and look at the jewelry and try it on.
Your clients are the young, old, or everything in between?
Everything in between.
And price points?
Price
all,
points.
all wallet sizes?
All sizes. Yeah.
Love it. How
Yeah.
quickly do they have to book you for a party? You could do either the Opulenza party or even a bride.
Oh, I'm pretty available. I do have a calendar, so really, it's give me a call, and usually I can work out something that I can have you come over to my house, or I'll come to your house. And a party can be as little as 3 people. Just come over, and I put the jewelry out on your table, and people start playing with it. Ooh.
Oh, that's great. No,
I
that's
love it.
great. And
It's really fun.
You talked before about allergens. Can you talk to us about some people
There's-
are allergic to different kinds of metals, so
Thank you for asking that.
You're welcome.
No nickel in this sterling silver. Like I said, it's handcrafted, so people are not allergic to this jewelry. I've never had someone say they couldn't wear it.
okay.
So that's the problem. Sometimes there's nickel in jewelry or some other, and people react to it. But
Sure.
Unless they just can't wear sterling silver. But if they can wear sterling silver, this is what they can wear.
Who are your clients? Who are your best clients, do you think? You say everybody. No, really.
Oh.
Who are you kind of connecting with, and where are your clients coming from? Are they just locally, or are you going all
Oh,
over?
I do get a lot of referrals. I can sell all over the country. I have family all around the country. So this time of year, I get a lot of calls like, I need a present for this person or that person. I would hate to just pinpoint one type of person. They're all different ages. My daughter loves it. I have a niece who's like 10. She likes the jewelry. But then my mother-in-law, she loved this jewelry and was a big fan of mine. And then friends my age enjoy it. So I think people are looking for something different. This is what they enjoy, and they like seeing it. Usually everybody finds something they like.
I think what I love is that you're always so passionate about the product line, and you're always so passionate about what you're selling. So, of course, that's infectious, and everyone wants to take a closer look if they don't know about Opalenza Designs. And there's a website that people can go to.
There's
correct?
a website, and I'm sure we can put that up later.
Yeah, we will.
The other thing about jewelry is it's just a great common denominator. Like everyone
Everyone
can
loves
talk
it.
about jewelry. If you don't know sure what to talk about, you can say, I love your earrings, love your necklace. So
It's a great conversation starter.
it's been a great business.
Love it. I love that you're so passionate, Maureen. Thank you so much.
fun.
We really appreciate you
Thank you
coming
for
in
having
today,
me.
and we wish you all the luck.
Okay.
And everyone's going to be calling you now.
I would love to hear from you.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Okay, well, thank you for watching our show. We're going to close it right now, but before we do that, I'd like Leslie to give us a brief chamber update.
So we have a really exciting shop local initiative that we're going to be launching within the next few weeks, and this is for the holidays, but it's for every day. It's throughout the year. It's called Greater Beverly Gift Certificates. This is a very successful program that, quite frankly, I am mirroring after the Cape Ann Chamber of Commerce and one that I launched in Marblehead 20 years ago when I was the director for the Marblehead Chamber of Commerce. This will give the consumer an opportunity to shop at multiple places within the community. You'll be given a guide when you buy this gift certificate. We will probably have close to 50 businesses, from restaurants to spas to, you name it, printers, etc. All different kinds of businesses will be involved and be participating in the Greater Beverly Gift Certificate program. They will be sold at the Chamber office. They will also be sold right now at Super Sub, but more will be on the way. So I suggest everyone check our website, watch our Instagram and our Facebook for updates. We are hoping to launch this before the holidays, though the show will run after the holidays. But the goal is to get people out shopping locally. This will be great for teachers' gifts, coaches' gifts, tutors, your employees, and stocking stuffers, etc. So this is hopefully going to be a great new shopping initiative that I'm very proud to bring for the Greater Beverly Chamber of Commerce and the community.
Well, thank you.
You're
I
welcome.
look forward to seeing that. Okay. I think that's our show for today.
That's our show
'cause
for
we're a little
today.
bit tight on time, and we want to make sure you do that. So, really, thanks again for watching us and helping us deliver the kind of program that you're looking for. If you have an idea of a particular segment that you'd like to see, send a note to Leslie at lgould@greaterbeverlychamberofcommerce.org. And that would be very important because we'll get it on the segment. We'll do something about it.
Absolutely.
And with that, we always want to remind you that when you are shopping over the holidays,
Keep it local!
And thank you very much for watching BevCam.